Hey now, what's going on, everybody? There it is. I wasn't expecting to get the coordinated hey now back from Charlotte, but
Yay.
well done, guys.
We're well
Yeah,
professional.
Very professional here. And welcome back to another episode of IoT Nuggets. And this is part 2 on location at the Oxit headquarters in Charlotte, North Carolina. Thanks once again for joining. I'm Doug Cohen from M10 Social. My illustrious co-host is in between the dream team at Oxit. There's Steve Brummer. Steve Brummer, everybody.
Thank you.
And we also have Josh Cox and Ashley Pope with us. Josh is the founder and CEO of Oxit, and Ashley is the director of operations. And we are happy to have you back. We were just talking a little bit about Oxit and the lab that you have there and why people should choose Oxit. And I think in this episode, we're going to drill down a little bit further into some deployments and specifically the Helium network, which we've been talking about a lot on the last few episodes of IoT Nuggets. It's very exciting what's going on in the space. So with that said, let's dive into it. Steve, I'm handing it to you.
Awesome. So one of the things that's so impressive here at Oxit has been the idea of taking the LoRaWAN world that you guys have been in and we have been in for 8 years plus, and looking at it now and saying, oh my God, there's new changes coming in the industry. And one of the huge ones this year has been Helium and where that's going and the whole concept around it and what growth is looking at it. It is a LoRaWAN network with a twist around the HNT token scenario. Crypto, it's getting a whole new group of people involved in our industry that we never expected to join, especially the younger crowd that now actually knows what LoRaWAN is all about. So Ashley, start off by telling us what's your approach to Helium as it relates to Oxit and where you're headed.
Well, I think it's definitely been something that we've had customers interested in. I know it's fondly known as the People's Network. I'm not an engineer, so I would rely on Josh to explain any of the engineering talk in it. But I think for us, it's been an exciting connectivity option, a network option for that different demographic that Steve hinted to, and for us trying to think outside of the box of how can we utilize Helium to go a whole new path in IoT, to expand our horizons and see what we can accomplish with Helium. So from a technical perspective, I would rely on Josh to kind of give us the rundown of what that's meant for us going from LoRaWAN into looking at Helium.
Yeah, she set you up.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Go ahead, Josh.
I mean, I think in North America, we've struggled with not having a network for a while. There's been a lot of excitement, a public network in North America. Obviously, there's other carrier-based and other guys getting into it, but Helium offers another opportunity. I think it offers some a network diversity, and it shows a really interesting way of how you can scale and build out a network across the U.S., but it changes the dynamics around capital expenditures, how much money you need to invest and create that. But at the end of the day, once there's a network, you get to leverage that network. And here in North America, that's been something that most of our deployments historically have been very much aimed at. We have to build a network and then go out and use it. But now we're getting to operate from a new mindset of, okay, there already is a network, so how can we use that network that's already existing?
And so from a technical standpoint, are the sensors and the gateways that you guys have been so familiar with and involved in over the last 8 years the same ones? I mean, are you doing something different?
Yeah, so the sensors are all very applicable to being able to operate, provided they're LoRaWAN compliant devices. They'll work on the Helium network. Gateways is a little bit different, mainly in how we're trying to secure those gateways. We've worked across the board with different gateway vendors. We've worked with different some of the crypto guys, and as well as working with across that entire gamut of different in-device users of that. And so you're seeing a lot of the same devices, but you're definitely seeing some changes on the gateway. That's driven a lot by the component shortage today and what's available, but it's also driven by how we secure these gateways and make them work as far as the crypto play and the cryptocurrency and those kinds of things. So.
and Ashley is, from a mobile app standpoint and all the other things related to the growth of this, of what you guys do from a gateway and sensor standpoint, but the mobile app and the platform and all those aspects. Has anything changed dramatically there when dealing with Helium versus the LoRaWAN side?
So, I think that there's been a lot that we've had to do to be compatible and to integrate and to plug into that from an app development perspective. I think we've seen a huge increase in like white labeling those apps and suiting them to these kind of new and unusual deployments and solutions. So I think it's been a lot about thinking outside of the box from us, from the business case value from it, but from the technical side of it. On the back end, I think it's really just been about integration.
Yeah, I mean, there's an interesting scale problem when it comes down to how do I ship a lot of gateways quickly?
Right.
And I think that's what Ashley's hitting on, is that out-of-box thinking, playing into the cryptocurrency. How do we ship as many gateways as fast as possible?
That's right.
And those kinds of plays. So we've had a lot of fun innovating in those spaces. But the LoRaWAN bit has been kind of that it hasn't changed, but I think combining the two, there's offered places for innovation and allowed us to get creative.
And I'll throw the pitch in. Because of your background in LoRaWAN for so many years and all the things that you've deployed and built already for customers, the idea of moving into Helium, this is the company that has the quality of the products and the services to be able to provide that to Helium, because you've done it for so long.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, I would just comment that Oxit's worked on developing, products that fit within, the pieces of the IoT solutions in order, to take advantage of Helium and what's going on. But also from the perspective of 10 years of consulting in IoT and hearing customer frustrations and complaints with what's out there from device and gateway perspective. So we've just been really trying to be creative to look and see how we could customize those pieces of the solution, but then also kind of look into new out-of-the-box solutions or aspects of the solutions that we can use to improve their success in taking their solutions to market.
Excellent. Okay, and so for people that know, we're taping this, it'll be released really soon, but we're almost at the end of the year. And so everybody gets into 2022 predictions and ideas of what you're going to see changing in our marketplace. So Ashley, you go first. What do you think is going to be one of the big change agents in 2022? What do you think is going to be a part of your huge Oxit organization and changes?
I think a lot of the investments that we've made in 2020 and in 2019 to stand out from the rest of the market from a quality perspective is going to continue to be so huge for us. A huge percentage of our business is referral. And I think that comes from being very dedicated to quality. So my prediction is that as all of these things are getting churned into the market and there's a huge amount of things you can choose from, devices, solutions, engineering houses, those kind of things. Quality is going to continue to become more and more important, both for specific protocols, but for the IoT market in general. So that's my prediction.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, Oxit is branching into some product type arenas next in the following year. So, we're excited to be able to bring some really novel and unique solutions to problems that we've observed. So, as Ashley kind of pointed out, I think with our history, we've really been able to see the gaps, and we look forward to filling those and continuing to kind of try to be that thought leader and innovator next year. So that's what we're excited about.
And that's all we can say about that right
now. and Doug, John and I and the BH IoT group team, very excited to be a part of this growth that Oxit is all that's showing. My prediction is that 2022 will get through our supply chain issues, and then this is going to be a very explosive industry or segment within the industry. Helium is going to continue to be explosive. LoRaWAN is going to become more and more accepted. There will be a new public network being released from the guys at EveryNet that is going to help all of us grow the business around LoRaWAN. So I just am so excited to go into this new year with some of the things that are going on in the market, Doug. So, Doug, back to you.
Well, thank you very much, Steve, and I would agree that it's very it's nice to see the optimism and the positivity from
especially about those supply chain issues, right?
That's my point. Like everyone knows there's supply chain issues, and yet you folks are not, sitting on your hands waiting for them to free up. You're moving and shaking and planning, and you're very optimistic and positive about what's going to happen. And I think, I think that's the way to go from my standpoint. I just think in general, it's a great outlook, and it's good to hear, I think, for everybody watching IoT Nuggets, because it's going to be a great year, 2022. I just said it. So thanks once again for joining. Thank you everybody for watching IoT Nuggets. Make sure to connect with BHIoT Group. You got the website over there, bhiotgroup.com. There it is. There it is. And make sure you connect on LinkedIn and YouTube as well. All the other IoT Nuggets are there at the YouTube channel. And you can go to oxit.com as well to find out more about Oxit down in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we've done these on location, which I think is very cool and really a first, I think, for us with this format.
Yeah, we've done some trade show ones, but nothing like this.
Right, exactly. We've had on location guests, but we haven't had a little round table at the lab like this.
Exactly. Yep.
So it's good stuff. All right, well, hey, with all that being said, thank you everybody for joining and tuning in. And we'll see you next time on the next edition of IoT Nuggets with BHIoT Group.
Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.